So I thought I was done talking about the Skullgirls situation. I guess not, considering that this video exists. But when it comes down to things, they just, I don't know. I feel like this was like one more thing I really need to mention when it comes down to things, when it comes to this situation, and what it shows when it comes to the censorship as well. Especially when it comes like to the company side of things, right? So obviously, when you have this whole situation and them and basically having them censoring the game in different areas, and you're thinking that you can get away with this, especially one, you after people pay for the game, which no, that's not how that worked, Chief. Try again. Two, the community made this damn game, honestly. So trying to remove any aspects of it where the community was involved, that sounded like some nonsense. And then three, you literally had one of the best OG Jentai creators of all time to come through and make an animation of one of the damn characters, and then they worked on the game as well in some shape and form, and you really think that that's fine to just remove all that stuff or delete its history or things of the sort? Like that's crazy. Honestly, that's actually crazy. Whether or not Zone wants to stay, you know, besides the new devs and whatever, that's her take, that's whatever, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't hate Zone, but I just don't agree with that take. But when it comes down to things, you know what you just basically did? By censoring this game that literally no one had a problem with for a decade and some change, honestly, you essentially just made people want to make more lewd content of your characters, honestly. Like, even when it comes down to things, yes, honestly, there was obviously no problem with the characters before, which again, this change doesn't necessarily make any kind of sense of why it happened. But again, this just made people want to make lewd content more. Oh, you censored Philia's panty shot? That's okay. Let's draw a picture of Philia with her titties whipped out, honestly. What you are essentially doing is just letting fans just have free reign. I mean, granted, they're gonna have free reign to do whatever the hell they want to anyway, because you shouldn't be censored. Honestly, censoring the fans is the worst damn thing you can do, because people are gonna just retaliate the hell at you and really not like your game. But when it comes down to things, you just don't make those type of moves like that, right? Because again, people will let you know how they feel, honestly. And that's kind of go with every single corporate game or like any type of media that's out there. Fans will make Jentai content of anything. Whether it's because they like the character, whether it's because they hate the game and do it out of spite, or just for fun, honestly. It doesn't necessarily matter. Everything is going to get looted before your very eyes, no matter what it is, even if you agree with it or not. So Skullgirls getting looted shouldn't be no surprise. One of the damn people that worked on the game looted the hell out of Philia too, so it really shouldn't come as a surprise that people would do this. Something I feel like that a lot of these games and their devs and stuff like that, they don't necessarily realize or know, is that a lot of the time Jentai material carry these games and stuff, right? A lot of the time people want to get mad because, oh, y'all just mad because Philia lost her panty shot? Yes, people are mad that Philia lost her panty shot. Like Overwatch. Who the hell is playing Overwatch in 2023? I don't think a lot of people are, especially with how many problems they've been having and doing a whole bunch of things that they really shouldn't be doing over there on Blizzard's side of things. And you know what people do with those characters? They take those models and loot the shit out of them. I don't even get mad, honestly, because it's like, who really plays that game? Not to mention, they did it to themselves when they took that one Tracer pose out. I know that's years ago, but fans remember that shit, right? Like, you change one thing about the character, and then guess what's gonna happen? Everybody's gonna get on your ass about that, honestly. And this was made, and stuff was made out of spite. Then it was just made because the characters are hot. Then that's essentially it. That's Overwatch's history, just making characters for the adult entertainment industry. Oh, you brought in a Tatsumaki skin? That's cool. Hi Tatsumaki, how you doing? Now back that ass over so you can get blacked real quick. Like, that's quite literally how this shit is in certain areas, honestly. It doesn't make any kind of sense how these companies be like, well, we're gonna necessarily just censor something right here and everything gonna be fine, and then they're gonna be shocked and awe when they see, like, I don't know, Widowmaker and Tracer getting shot with cum on their faces. Like what you expect, dude, honestly. And then sometimes again, you can have games that are really good and people just like those characters like that, and still the company will get mad, but what they gonna do about it? Like Genshin or Pokemon, or especially Pokemon, because they sued Real Dirt for one time, but then people still make content of it, so it's like, even Pokemon can't stop that shit. It is what it is. But going back to Genshin real quick, Genshin has tons of characters where there's fine female characters on there. And, you know, some people, and especially with some different games and stuff, they really be like, alright, we ain't gonna necessarily pick you to sponsor you or whatever because you using our characters in a lewd way, or like, you're liking the material that people make of them. Like, bitch, if Lamine is twerking on my face, wet as hell, I'm going to accept that picture and say that it's good. It's great. It is glorious, honestly. Like, if someone drew a picture of my character banging Lamine, which someone did, by the way, but if someone were to do that, you know what I'm gonna be like? I'm gonna be like, damn, I was riding her ass. That's some good shit. Really enjoy that. And press and give it a like and something like that. Or just shout it out in some shape or form. Don't get mad at me because people make your character doing some sexy things when she's already fine. It is what it is. You accept it and you have to take it. It is what it is. Again, you can't get mad at the fans because what? The fans are the people that make your whole entire company go good, honestly. They give you the dollars. They are your literal life source. If you remove the fans, you ain't shit. That's just literally how it is. Especially when it comes to content creators too. There is so many content creators that exist out there, and you don't think people ain't gonna necessarily make, you know, fan art of one of the people doing something crazy, especially for the people that has, like, you know, fictional characters as their main face of the channel and stuff like that. Like, we already talked about this plenty of times, but you know how many times Jaden has gotten her character rolled on with some type of dick in her, honestly? It's not because anybody hates the lady. It's not necessarily because, you know, it's not necessarily because they want to show some malice or something like that, despite her bogus ass blasphemous claims, which is shitty. But when it comes down to things, at the end of the day, people like her character because she's sexy. It is what it is. So if someone's going to draw her getting some dick down her throat, it is what it is. Now, if someone does like the real life aspect of her, what, like you actually choose her real face and body and stuff like that, now that's weird. Now that's a weird side, right? That's a really weird side, right? That's a side I don't necessarily care for. But for the character of her, then sure, it's fine. It doesn't necessarily matter, honestly, because at the end of the day, it is a character. No one should care. And then what does help, though, I will say, is especially with certain anime that be having, like, you know, actual products that you can buy that is actually for the adults and stuff, or maybe have like an alternate version of an anime where they actually do have Jentai scenes and stuff like that. Now those shows are fine because, you know, they like, you know what, we're gonna loot our own characters, so if anybody kind of comes in and joins in on that, it's fine, it's whatever. It's honestly like the only point in time where that's fine, because hell, Demon Slayer had their whole on the whole of Nezuko that you can buy, like from the official source and whatever, and that's fine, right? No one really cares. So honestly, if Demon Slayer were to come through and be like, oh, you can't loot our characters no more, that's a bit weird. That would be strange. You literally made a whole ass on the whole of Nezuko's mouth. Like, you don't think I'm gonna just make a drawing of Nezuko doing the exact same thing you trying to sell with your product? That seems a bit weird. Like, I'm not sitting here and say every single company needs to acknowledge this stuff, but I'm just saying that they need to just be like, okay, it's a thing, it exists, whatever, it's helping our product, so let's just get over it, you know? Let's just ignore it. Especially, again, when it comes to when people try to censor shit, it's just like, why you censor it? Why is this a problem? No one complained about this, ever. Like, we don't care if you're new into this gaming space, sir. I don't care if you're from California, where the sun never fucking goes away, because, dude, it's not that deep. But when it comes down to things, it's just like, at the end of the day, there's no reason to censor anything. There's no reason to censor your fans, whether it's something you like or not, right? There's no reason for it. The only thing that you need to do is just let the fans do what the fans do. Now, don't get me wrong, they do be going crazy. The fans suck sometimes. Let's not even lie. The fans absolutely suck sometimes. But at the end of the day, they are also the people that you should, you know, consider, honestly, at least for what they want. Because when it comes to the whole Skullgirls censorship removal type of thing, would it be okay if someone asked, yo, it would be nice if we had like a switch so we can switch on and off, you know, what you trying to block out in the censor? Then, you know what? Fine. If that's what they want to do, if they still want to censor it, but you give us the option to turn it on and off, then cool. I am perfectly fine with that. You know, it's still stupid that you want to censor, but at least there's an on and off switch. That's fine. It could be just like Bayonetta, like how Bayonetta 3 has their on and off mode, where you can see all the sexy skin of Bayonetta, or you can just turn it off if it's just not that, you know, for it, honestly. Or if you're like, you're buying this game for someone younger, which, why? Which, honestly, you know, at least they have the on and off button, so at least you can tell, alright, let's see how this game goes, and then they got the clothes still on, and that's fine, right? Because at least you're giving the player the option to turn the shit on and off again. Like, if you don't want to see Philia's panties because you don't like that she's underage, even though she's fictional, it doesn't necessarily matter, but still, when it comes down to things, then give us the option. Like, you shouldn't just go out and change your way because you don't like what you see. We should have a vote on if this shit should stay or if this shit should go. Or again, give us the option with a switch to turn it on and off again. People don't like seeing her panties? Alright, turn the option on. If you don't want to see all that censored nonsense, then turn it off. Great, now I can smell Philia's ass. But when it comes down to things, they don't do that. No one does that. And it's so annoying, honestly. I don't necessarily understand, again, why this is a thing, right? So at the end of the day, when it comes down to things, fans, whether they like a product, whether they hate it out of spite, or just hate it straight up, people are going to make Jentai content, and a lot of the time, whether you believe it or not, that shit carries different games and different fandoms in different ways. I'm tired of just having the games be censored when they weren't having a problem before, especially when a game like Skullgirls wasn't censored for a decade and then still come through and just get censored for no damn reason because some California bitch people. That's all it is. But anyway, that's essentially all I really have for you today, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials, and if you'd like to donate to the channel, Patreon is available as well. And until next, boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.